Hello guys, Proton Star Z. So today we're just going to talk about Sub-City Troops Training. As you know, Evony had added in this new section here where you quickly conscript your Sub-City troops for gems. Just make note of this really quick. 110,594 gems for this one, 41,592, 265,877. So in each subsidy you have a troops training speed section, which is based on your general. At the top, my current general here is 561% for troops training speed. And that's just simply based on their leadership attributes refined. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to decrease the amount of gems required to fill up your subsidy troops. And if you want to, you can go over capacity. Sorry, I'll just talk about this really quick and go into the new generals that we have in the subsidies. You'll notice that Catherine appeared in one of the subsidy generals list. Her primary skill increases the subsidy troop training speed by 35% when she's the mayor. So that's a really good one to have already. You can also add in the troops training capacity, which increases the total capacity of that subsidy or not. If you simply just want to decrease the amount of gems, then don't add in the training capacity skill book, plain and simple. So now then we'll go into what other things you can do to increase that training speed. The first thing you can do is go into your Monarch Talent. If you already have this here, subordinate city training speed, you can increase it by 10%. So let's just do that. I'm going to switch my talent right now, change that over. And then now I'm going to go and talk about some cultivation that is needed to do to increase this. When I go to my Catherine and go to cultivation, the only thing I've really cultivated for her is leadership, because I specifically want it just for the subordinate city training speed, which is 189.60%. So you just want to cultivate that to the maximum for just her. If it's your regular subsidy general, then you definitely want it fully cultivated for all of the 4 stats. So in today's example, I'm going to just list out some gear that you may want to acquire for her. If you look at the dragon bow, it already has by default with a 5-star attribute that subordinate city training speed plus 30% is right here. So I have one that has refining attributes for capacity and one without. Now, if I do put this other one in, it increases the subordinate's capacity as well, but I'm not going to do that in this example just to show how much of a savings you can get. So the bow and the boots increase the capacity for refining attributes, which you can do. And so here we have the dragon armor piece. You can either use dragon or Achaemenidae for the chest, helmet, and ring, because none of the dragon items for those pieces have any subordinate training speed. We'll talk about that in a second. With dragon pieces, you can only have a maximum of 20 per refining attribute. So see, it'll only go up to 1 to 20. So in this total, you can actually only have 80% increase. Whereas the Achaemenidae gear, you can refine it up to 25%. So you can have up to 100%. The only difference is the refining stones cost for dragon pieces is 100 stones and 700k gold for each refining click. Whereas the Achaemenidae is twice as much at 200 stones and 1 million gold. So it's up to you if you have the refining stones for it or if you just want to do it cheaply. So the leg armor also has subordinate city training speed at 32% with 5-star. So if you don't have any gems to refine anything, you can just do a random refine on the bottom ones and just have one really high stat, not use any gems. So you can have one up to like almost 20%, and then it'll just stack on top of the one that it has. So now that we have some of this gear refined and the particular ones that are on there, what I'm going to do is go back to the subordinate city training screen. Now you notice that it already decreased from 110 because I changed the Monarch Talent. Now I'm going to change it to the Catherine General. You can see that the amount has decreased significantly to 78,000 gems usage consumption here instead of 110,597, simply because she changes the troops training speed up to 762% based on my refines versus the default debuff general that I have in there, which is at 537%. So the more subordinate city training speed you have, the lower the gem amounts will be. So even this 40,000 Germany famous city here, if I change it to Catherine, it's now 37,000 gems. This can add up really quickly. So if you do that, then if you do this throughout Battlefield, you can use up a lot of gems really quick because you're talking about like 30, 30, 30, 30, 30 all the way down. Now, if you wanted to literally go over capacity for troops, you can see that it has 67,240,000 troops here. I mean, it'll last longer if you have more troops, but then it costs more gems. So right now it's 40,000 as it is. If I go and change her bow to the one I refined with subordinate city training speed, capacity, just a little bit, you'll see that she will have this spec, and now it's up to 94,000 troops, only at 43,000 gems. That's a significant amount of troops. Now, if you had the boots in there and refined that as well, it would go up a significant amount as well. So if I change CNAT at 142,000 troops to her, it'll be 170,000 troops in the subsidy at a cost of 238,000, which is significantly less before the speeds from 255,000. There you go. So that's subordinate city training speed increase in order to reduce the amount of gem consumption on your subsidies. Okay, hope you enjoyed this video, and good night.